Information is power.
Welcome to the Information Man Show.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information is power. Information is power. Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, everybody.
I don't know if I'm okay. I don't see the light of day. Looking up to higher ground, thinking that'll be a sweet escape. These days gotta schedule the romance. They say that love is a slow dance. A short bike ride to the crib using no hands. Oh shit, it feel like I'm floating, but I'm falling with both eyes closed when I let the world spin. Testing the water, she got my nerves tense. Back when I ain't even have a purpose, I was so eager to learn some things. Anxiety bring out the worst in me. Society paint me as enemy. My niggas making it by that remedy. I'm more occasional, don't do it regularly. Backs under my eyes, weighing down heavily. Mama been worried, the devil allegedly deep in the plan. Subconsciously wanted this since I was 10. I thought I was sharp on my scroll and my pen think it did. So mama found shit of them legs.
What's up,
She told me
everybody?
that's not
Peace.
who I am. But nowadays I put on for the fam, see you when I can.
Peace, everybody.
My feelings, I'm stuck on a fabric. Well, I bet I perish with 140 acres. She want the horse and the carriage, a porcelain Porsche and the garage. I talk to the mirror. I know that life's not the fairest. I lost my can, I can't pay off the bills with the blessing. I'm sure I relate to the red page. It's feeling like money is everything. Money is everything. It's everything I need.
All right, everybody. This is the Information Man Show. I want to say to everybody, thank you for your patience. We were going to go 115, then I pushed it up to 130. I've got my man Ray Alexander in the back with me. We're going to get into the issue. As you know, as you've seen on the thumbnail, we're going to talk about reverse migration. This is part 2. We did a part 1 show that was very successful, and we're going to do it again. This time, we're going to focus on the Rust Belt area. Detroit, Chicago. Let me put this picture up here just to give you a little taste of what we're talking about. The Rust Belt of the United States of America. And that's an example. We know in Detroit, you had the automobile industry, which was booming, which is the reason why Black people migrated up into the Michigan area, particularly Detroit, Michigan, from the South, looking for job and opportunity. Of course, we know Black people have migrated into what we call New York, Syracuse, all those different areas you see on the screen there. And let me put this up there as well. And so this is another example of these are the southern states. Okay, so you've got Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, right? Virginia, North Carolina. These are some of the states, Florida, where Black people are actually having some success. What you see below is a ticker. Look at the ticker. This is the same ticker that I had up before. This particular video that we're doing today is going to be very educational. We're going to break it down, and there will be various things on the screen that I will put up that will help illustrate what we're talking about. What you see on the ticker is the Black population. These are the numbers where you have the highest Black populations in the country as we know it right now. Now, this ticker, this is what I'm going to put on the screen right now for all of you to see. Let me read this to you right now. The United States lists of the 50th best places to live in America. We got Huntsville, Alabama. We got Lexington, Kentucky. We got Nashville, North Carolina, Fort Myers, Florida. And again, Washington, D.C. comes in. That's Chocolate City. Although, you know, there's some gentrification going on there too. And then we got Austin, Texas. So these are some of the areas, according to United States statistics and research, are the best overall areas to live. But on that ticker below are some of the areas where you have the largest Black populations, where Black people are doing well. North Carolina is one of them that sticks out. Of course, we know about the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of Black people have moved to Atlanta, Georgia, which is a very transient city because you have people going there from New York, California. We did a video last time talking about California, how difficult it is to live here economically. And let me show you something else. These are some of the things that are happening in Detroit, Michigan, which is a part of that Rust Belt as well, where you have homes that are deteriorating, right? And here's a picture that was my thumbnail of this family that is trying to refurbish a home in Detroit. Another thing that I'm going to show you today, we're going to show you, me and Ray Alexander are going to show you, here is a picture of some brothers getting off the bus. I'm going to be showing you a short video, I repeat, that talks about how in Detroit, sometimes when Black people are waiting for buses, and just all people, sometimes the bus may not even show up because Detroit, as you may or may not know, they filed for bankruptcy. They're in a lot of trouble. They're hitting on hard times. Of course, we've got Black folks in Chicago, and Chicago has got its set of problems economically for Black people as well. Today, this isn't about telling you better move to the South, because I know people have their feelings about the South. Here's a picture of New York or Manhattan. We got problems over there in New York as well. But I just wanted to bring these things up because I know that people are going to say, well, man, I'm not moving to the South. The South is the Jim Crow South. The South is the racism, the Ku Klux Klan. What I'm telling you, what we're going to be telling you, or we're not going to just tell you, we're going to show you by providing information and being on our square with this information, is that Black people are not doing well in California. We're being pushed out of California. We're being gentrified. Even in Los Angeles, Black people, as we said before in the first part one, Black people are being pushed out of Los Angeles into Riverside and further out. Okay. And then there has been, over the last few years, I'm going to bring this up, and I've got an article I want to bring on the screen right here before I bring Ray in and let Ray take it from there. But there's an article that I was looking at, and I'll put this in the chat room, called How Reverse Great Migration is Reshaping United States Cities. Now, when you talk about United States cities, it particularly focuses on Chicago and other major metro face Black America departure for the suburbs. So there has been, over a number of years, a big push where Black people have moved from the city into the suburbs. And as we have moved from the city into the suburbs, white people are trying to go back to the city. I remember I was in Baltimore, Maryland, some time back, and all the Black people were moving out to the county, which would be what we call suburbs in California. And white people were moving back into the city of Baltimore, refurbishing row houses, and bringing the prices and values up because they want to be closer to work. They want to be closer to transportation. They're tired of being in their cars, driving out to a suburb. And so Black people, the urban core, 1990 to 2000, 2010, 2017, 41.7% of Black people were finding themselves moving to the suburbs, getting out of the city. And now we have a reverse, as I said. On top of that, because the city is becoming difficult for Black people to live because everything is going up as it's been gentrified and white people are moving in, and it's gentrifying and driving up the rents. It's causing Black people to move further and further away into suburbs now, okay, across the country. But it's also difficult in terms of the quality of life. Do you just want to live? Do you want to have quality in your quality of life? And when you talk to Black people who are living a quality life, they're living in the southern part of this country, whether you like it or not. It's just the truth. I've got a fraternity brother who's going to come on. I'm going to send him a link and he's going to come on. I got a video. He moved to Georgia. He's got like a 6-bedroom home that he paid about $381 for, 6 bedrooms. And he's got land on the outside. He's got his backyard, but he's got land and he hasn't even put up fencing yet. He's got all this land in the back, and I'm going to show you that video. He's going to come on. I'm going to send him a link. He's going to come on and further explain it. And I'm telling you right now, when I'm in California, a 6-bedroom, you can't pay for a 6-bedroom house with $381,000 in California. That's going to cost you over $1 million with the land. You can't. You'll damn near be living in a Cracker Jack box still. You just can't. So I'm going to bring that brother on, Marcus Logan, on to talk about that for a brief moment. But I just wanted to kind of like bring that up to everyone's attention. And also what you're seeing on the screen there is Urban Nerds Worldwide. That's my boy, my man, the one and only Black Power himself, George Makem too, or George Makem. He's got a YouTube channel and an Urban Nerds Worldwide YouTube channel as well. I'm sponsoring that organization, giving donation money. You can write it off because it's a nonprofit, which means whatever you donate to George Makem's Urban Nerds Worldwide organization, you're going to get a tax write-off on that. He's working with youth. He's doing all the things that we should be doing. Okay. So this is the brother that we should be supporting. Don't waste your time listening to the high value men crowd. High value is doing something in your community. High value is that you are high value because you're a child of God. High value is bettering your community, being a family man, being strong on your principles, standing up. Men who transform their communities and the environment around them are high value. Suits and all that other stuff is played out because we got real problems. Don't get caught up in facades and images. Images don't mean shit without work and deeds to your work. So this is a brother who is doing the work with the youth in the community, and he should be the one that you should be spending. He should be having 1,000 and 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 people watching him and what he does on his channel with the youth. That channel should have 4,000 or 5,000, but our people sometimes don't want to watch things that are productive. We want to watch sometimes the car crash. Well, that's my PSL, my advertisement for the Urban Nerds Worldwide. That logo will be on this channel. That logo will be shown to you throughout this program today. So with that said, let me bring in my man right now, Ray Alexander, who's in the back, and get him going, give him a clap. All right, brother Ray, how you doing, man? How you doing? I'm glad to have you here, brother. And let me unmute you. I'm sorry. There you go. There you go, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, and thank you on that. Glad to be here to add my commentary, and thank you for doing this important show.
Well, first of all, thank you, man. This is the second time we've done this together. We got good chemistry, and I like the fact that you brought this to my attention several months ago when we did the first program about the reverse migration of Black people, why Black people, the Black community, Black society should leave California. We went over it. It is obvious that we are struggling. I'm in California, and although we have some Black folks that have money, maybe they're celebrities, they have some money, you can't be fooled by that because not all of us are doing well out here in California. It's a struggle. Although we do get paid high salaries, the price of living is still very high. Gas is very high. So many things that we're paying for. And I feel like I paid a lot of taxes, and I don't feel like I get much in return for the taxes that I pay. So with that said, brother, I'm glad that you're here. Let's get into it. You've been trying to get back on here with me, and we finally got it going. Sorry. I've been interviewing different people, doing other shows, of course. But let's get into this, brother. Tell us about your thoughts about the Rust Belt and the fact that now we're looking at examining those Rust Belt cities And right here out of an article that you sent me, it says why Black millennials and Zs and retirees should leave the Rust Belt for a better life in the South. Now, brother, let's get into this now. Explain yourself, because some people are going to say, man, you know, I don't want to leave because the South has got a lot of those problems. But black people and black folks are not doing well in those other places economically, brother. So break it down.
Tell the truth.
Well, basically what's happening, you're absolutely correct on that. The Rust Belt 50 years ago, 60 years ago was an opportunity for us when America was the manufacturing hub for the world. And so African Americans moved up there, Black Americans moved up there from the South, got good jobs with benefits. But what happened is that things have changed. We have global trade. We had a lot of offshoring of manufacturing overseas. Some of it moved to the South. And what has happened is that these cities, as Charles Blow talks about, these destination cities, Detroit, Cleveland, Youngstown, Buffalo, New York, Rochester, a lot of these Midwestern, Chicago, a lot of these Midwestern cities are no longer viable. Gary, Indiana. And we can go over and over. These cities were manufacturing hubs. That's why we came there. We had a good life. But right now, we have an information technology society, an information systems economy, and also a high-skilled technology society and health, education, literacy. We call that the HEAL professions, HEAL. Then we have the information technology, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math professions, and we need to get ourselves in those professions and reposition ourselves back in the South for political power. Right now, well, go ahead if you're going to make a statement.
No, go ahead. I'm listening, brother. Go ahead.
Right now, as Charles Blow is saying in the Black Power Manifesto, is that if you move to the southern cities where you can have a 51% majority over time, you can control the electoral college votes as well as the senates and the governorships. That's where the power is. So if you'll see right now, Georgia did elect a senator. We're going to have to fight real hard to maintain that. But over time, as the population increases, we'll do that. As we talked about earlier, there's a sister who is running for the Senate in North Carolina. She was a North Carolina State Supreme Court Justice, and she's a transplant. She was born in Chicago, went to law school at Rutgers, and she's going to be running for the U.S. Senate in North Carolina, and hopefully she'll be able to get that. We have the numbers. Ultimately, you got to be where you have the numbers, and control of the state is what's important. We have brothers and sisters in major cities like New York may get a black mayor, but he's going to still be dependent on what the governor does, what allocations are for the governor, and the governor can always override what a city does. And so this is where we are right now. This is the new opportunity for millennials and Gen Zs to get on. And also I'm encouraging retirees, when people get to the point where they can retire with those good pensions, these teachers, move to those areas and take some of your kids, take some of your grandkids and move back to some nice affordable places in the South and give them a better start. They don't have to start from the bottom. They can start from the middle, and they can make good use. And it's not just the major cities, but like places like Georgia. Macon, Georgia is a mid-sized city, and it has a black mayor. You have Augusta, Georgia. You have Savannah, Georgia. You have a lot of places that have our populations that you can go through. But this is the next and a very important political move that we need to get on to. But as you said, we need to go ahead and discuss Detroit and the Rust Belt, because they're not doing well there. And the turnaround, unfortunately, in Detroit is leaving blacks out of it. And Detroit is a majority black city. And we can go over that if you like.
Definitely go over that. Let me say this right here. I'm going to look at a few folks, or we got some folks coming in. And this sister right here, Diva, she makes a good point. She said that New York to Florida representing, I was able to purchase a spacious 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Florida for a really low price. Would never have been able to do that in New York. Exactly. And New York is like that. You just can't live the kind of high lifestyle that you want. Now, Ray Now Rob Allbank says it's a trick. This is his opinion. It's a trick to get you to the south, to the southern places, because prices are going up here too. Well, let me just say this to you, brother. Prices of housing is up everywhere because it's a seller's market. It's no longer a buyer's market because of where our economy is. But I could tell you right now, I live in California. What I could get for the money here, I could live pretty damn well in one of those southern states or anywhere else other than California with the money that I make personally in my personal income. I could live a hell of a lot better in terms of the quality of life. And that's facts. Okay. And I'm in a catch-22 because I'm in a place where at some point in time, I'll be able to retire. So I'm looking at in retirement, making my move out of California to make my retirement and my pension and everything else I've got going for myself to make it really benefit me even more so. So I understand what you're saying. It is, things are going up all across the country, but in comparison to living in the West Coast, in the Rust Belt areas, as Ray Alexander is talking about, it's actually still considerably a lot more cheaper. There was somebody else that was in the chat that I wanted to say what's up to, and that's my man Super Tricks. What's going on, brother? He said, what's the strategy? Once you get there, sounds like self-gentrification. Super Tricks, can you re-explain what do you mean? Are you saying that are you saying that it's about black people gentrifying the South by going back to the South? Or is it that once we get there, the South is going to be gentrified by other people moving in? Just give us a little bit more details, brothers, because I know that you are a brother who looks at things very analytical and intelligently, but give us a little bit more to what you're saying so that we can eat on that a little bit more. Rob Allbank says, of course you can, because it's money you make there, because of the money that you make there. But when you make money here, it's just the same as you were in California. It's better for retiring people. Let's be clear on that. Yeah, if you're retiring and you're going to move to the South, it's a win-win for you. Yes, indeed, it is a win-win for you. And let me go. We got Pam's Money in the house. Make sure y'all check out her channel and give her support. She says, hi, Information Man in chat. Thank you for being here. And then we've got the Black Cyber Network. He says the elderly don't understand economics. They grew up in America where they had 20% of the wealth from age 18 to 29. Now the same age range has 4% of the wealth. Very interesting. Then we got Diva, who says, I'm in Central Florida. No flooding, no worries here. Only thing we have to worry about is the occasional hurricanes. I get it. Nowhere you move in the world are you going to escape natural disasters, folks. You're just not going to make it. We got Maxtick, who says, but Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Louisiana are going to be underwater when the coastal lines rise. Yeah, they've predicted that Louisiana, which I wouldn't move to Louisiana personally because it's a very poor state. It's almost like Detroit in the sense that they've got damn near getting ready to go into bankruptcy themselves. They got a lot of corruption there with their police departments, and they got a lot of other issues. So that it wouldn't be an attractive place for me personally to want to move. I don't know what Ray's thought was about this, but I'll ask him. For me personally, folks, but I hear what you're saying, sister. I hear what you're saying. We got Keith Western in the house who says, oh, he's from Philadelphia. He says in Philadelphia where he lives at, that there's some rents or some stuff that's cheap, but it's still, it's still getting up there pretty high. And he says retail, fast food, nursing are the biggest opportunities in Pittsburgh, PA, unless you're playing sports. I'm going to tell you right now, fast food don't pay you a lot of money. Nursing is decent, but you got to have good income coming in. And I think my man Super Tricks works in nursing himself and makes a damn good salary. Super Tricks says this, what is the percentage of change rate of appreciation cash flow housing is an investment, not just a place to live? You're actually, no, look, Super Trick, you're right. You want to definitely find a place where the price of living is affordable for you. But like you said, you want to make sure that you move to a place where real estate in the community that you're moving to is pretty damn good. so that you get a return on your investment, and so that your property will go up in value if you ever decide to sell it. That is something that you got. That's why I think, Ray, let me know if I'm right or right. Wouldn't North Carolina be an attractive place right now in terms of housing and the benefits that you can get from buying housing there? Because they have great schools there, right? There's great employment in North Carolina. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
That is correct. Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, Research Triangle Park, where Apple is rebuilding. That's if you are highly skilled. If you are IT, healthcare, if you're making those types of income in those specific areas, then you'll need that, because the housing is going to be pricey. But if you live in areas outside of that, it's more affordable. But I would also let me go, since you did mention Louisiana. Part of the reason
maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong about what I said, but go ahead, brother.
Well, Louisiana is a poor state, but the Louisiana, that's why you need highly skilled business people to come and be a part of that, because what's happening is that we'll need people that can move to Louisiana. They may be working or have businesses outside of the state, but we need the numbers to increase where you can get control of that state. If we talked about earlier about how a state like West Virginia has less than 1 million people, but that senator is controlling the vote for the infrastructure program that's going to impact everybody. So Charles Blow is actually correct in saying that we have to be strategic. Now, everybody can't go to Louisiana, but you have about, in my estimation, about 10% of the blacks who live in Texas are from Louisiana. So they can buy property there, retire there, or have their businesses in Texas, or have a home in Louisiana and be residents and vote. So this is a long-term strategy, but there's a lot of land, and northern Louisiana is the spot too. So right now you have one of the most dynamic brothers in Louisiana who is mayor of Shreveport. This brother is a graduate of West Point and Harvard Law School. He's going to be someone to watch. Go ahead.
Let me ask you, because they were saying that there was somewhat of an echo. They say he has an echo. This is what I need you to do if you can, because they always recommend people that when you use these mediums is to wear a headset. Because I think everyone is saying that the echo is coming from you, and they do recommend that put a headset on. I think that's why there's echo effect coming from you.
I do have a headset. Let me see if I need to do this. I had it on mute. Let me just see. Give me
because I've already got echo cancellation in the system itself. But if you need to pull out and come back in, just click back into the link and I'll bring you back in, because sometimes people have to do that kind of stuff. But we're gonna have the audience, the great audience that's in the chat room. Everybody right now, let's do a little test. How do I sound? Do I sound like I'm giving an echo? If I'm not giving an echo, put a 1 to let me know that I'm not echoing. But if Ray Alexander is the one that's got an echo effect, let us know. And the best way I know to fix that is that he's got to like put a headset on, or maybe he needs to drop off the panel and then come back into the panel. Okay, so I'm sounding fine. So the echo effect is coming from you, Ray.
Okay.
So you might have to drop off and drop back in. That might be one way, but we're going to test it and see if people hear you better.
Let me try that. You want me to sign all the way out and then come back in?
Well, wait a minute. Just start talking. And everybody, does it sound like he's echoing now? Say a few words.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Is Ray echoing? If he's echoing, put a say no or yes.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, they're saying no echo. They say no. Great. So there might have been, Yard Streams is a very oversensitive platform. My God, it is.
Okay.
But let's go on, Ray. Let me do this, because I'm going to shout some folks out. We got so many good people coming in, and I'm trying to balance between acknowledging people and staying on point with the presentation. But let me read this real quick. A century ago, large numbers of disaffected Black citizens began to disenfranchised, definitely they began to move away from the Jim Crow South to escape the brutality and the racial discrimination, as well as the political and economic disenfranchisement. That's what that is there. And that's the reason why Black people left. Now, let me say this to you, Ray. Rob Allbank says that a lot of elderly people who have lived in the South most of their life, that when they retire, they still have to work to make it. This is what people need to understand, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, Ray. We're not saying that you can just have any type of job or just any kind of income and you can move to these southern states, and because it's cheaper to live there, that you're just going to be living high off the hog, as some would say. You still have to have some type of proper retirement or some type of proper employment. So this doesn't mean, so for example, if you are a well-employed person or you are an entrepreneur where you have your own business, for example, and you're doing well economically and you move to the South, well, you're going to probably do well. But if you already were poor and struggling in your economics and while living in the South, and then you retire and you still didn't have a proper pension plan or something, then you still are going to struggle even in the South, because it's really about your economics. This is more about the fact that if you are a Black man, a Black woman, you have a family, and you somewhat have been responsible with your economics, maybe you have pretty decent employment, you can still do better in the southern states than you can living in the West Coast and all these other places where the price of living is much higher and Black people are struggling. What do you say about that, Ray?
I do say that is the way to go on that. We have to have high-level skills. This is strategic, long-term move. Am I coming through clearly now?
Yes, and I think everybody is hearing you. I'm hoping that everybody's hearing you without echo. We got Purple Paisley who's come over. What's up, sister? Good to see you. Make sure y'all check out her channel. And we got High Flavored. She says no echo. Earl Owens, who's a veteran, he's a veteran that has been following me for a long time. He says, tell the truth. Let's make sure we get that in there.
Tell the truth.
And they can hear you. Things are sounding better. You know, once again, Yard Streams has these funny little ways, man, but we're coming through. So continue, Brother Ray. And we got Kendrick, who's in the house. He says, my people come from Shreveport and New Orleans. Very nice. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, great to hear that. So I'm glad things are good. This is a political empowerment move. This is also an economic move. So we're talking about people being strategic in their move, not making a desperate move to move on. However, you're in bad situations in New York, Chicago, Detroit. These cities are not going to be coming back the way that you think they're coming back. What people can do is invest in themselves educationally while they are there, learn information technology, learn skilled trades, learn health professions, and strategically relocate in those areas. And so it's not, and plus anytime you can have, and also you don't have to move as individually, you can move as couples, as friends. So double up so that you don't have to deal with some of the things that are happening.
Okay, Ray, can you see what's on the screen? We have another wonderful folks, Magtic, that's in the chat room. And I think what this person wants to know, this sister, I believe it is, says, could he repeat what he was speaking on regarding infrastructure? Can you repeat that, Ray?
Okay, I'd be glad to talk about that. Well, I was saying that we need to have the skill sets that we need so that as we move forward, we'll come to the South with skills in healthcare. We'll have skills in information technology, skills trades, so that whatever we're doing, it will be able to be viable where we go.
Okay. Ray, let me everybody let us know if his sound is coming through okay. And
What
I
I
want to
can
thank
do is sign out and sign back in. Let's see
yeah,
how that
what I
because
want you to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, sign out and sign back in. Super Tricks has been really on top of it, brother. Thank you with letting us know about sound as well as other people in the chat. But sign out and sign back in and see if that might fix it. You know, I believe it's Yard Streams itself.
One moment,
because you got a headset and everything like that on. So try that. Let's do that and come on back when you're finished doing that. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna play a little bit of music while the brother's coming right on back in. Give us a minute. Rob Allbanks, man, you're making good points today. I appreciate that. You already know Pam's money. What's going on? All right. We got angels, are we, nurses, and other things. Host, your voice is okay, but not for the guest. Okay. Yeah, they're letting me know that he wasn't coming through clear enough. All right, here he comes, coming back in. We got Kay that's coming out. She says those Grand Dragons are on the West Coast too, not just the South. Okay. And thank you for the super chat too. Thank you for the super sticker, Max it.
So testing 1, 2, 3. How am I sounding?
All right, we got you back on. And folks were saying that it wasn't me. It was really the sound distortion was coming from you. Now, how can we do this? Ray, let's do a test. Say testing 1, 2, 3, and let's see if people hear any distortion. Let's do it now.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
If you're hearing any distortion from Ray Alexander, again, put a 1 in the chat room. If you're not hearing any distortion, put a no. Ray, say a few things.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Ray, are you using a mic? Or are you talking into your computer? Or are you using your phone today?
It's like it's a small headset with you're inserting you similar to what you have on.
Right.
Am I speaking too close to it?
See, they're saying that it still echoes. There's still an echo effect. Let me see. Maybe I should switch something up on my side too. But everyone says that everybody can hear me, right? Let me see what brother turned down his mic sensitivity. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Ray, if you can hear me, Super Tricks is saying that you should turn down your microphone intensity, and that it might sound a little bit better if you turn your mic intensity down. Mr. Get Like Me says, yes, turn the mic down a little bit. Yeah, Grandmom Code says, yes, turn the sound down low. So everybody is on the same page with that. We got Mo who says, historically, when blacks move into the white neighborhoods, whites move out. That's facts. If we become majority population in certain states, whites would move out. It's a win-win for both races, really. That's what Mo is saying. Now, that is true. Whenever you have black people moving into neighborhoods that traditionally have been seen as white neighborhoods, you have what they call white flight. It happened in Los Angeles, which is why when you go to South Central LA, a lot of people don't know that South Central LA was really made up of a lot of immigrants, people from Europe. And as black people moved in, those folks began to move out. That's just the facts of historical history. Hello, Information Man and Mize in chat. Hey, thank you for being here, House of Bling. I appreciate you being here. If anybody has not subscribed to this channel, please check me out. Sector 31 says, please have media training classes for your guests. Come on now, stop all of that.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Nobody's a pro. This is what they're saying, Ray.
Okay.
Because Ray, this is the thing, because we had somebody on here saying get media training. Look, me and Ray, this is the second time we've done this. The first time that Ray was on, we didn't have any of these problems. But Ray, let me ask you this, because some people are saying this. Is it any kind of way you can decrease the volume of your mic? They're saying that they think that it's the mic that you're using that could be up too high, that could be causing the distortion. And then we got my man, Prophet of Thought series, who's in the house. He says you might have to check echo cancellation. I did that, brother. I'll click it again, and hopefully we'll get a different. Hopefully we get a different situation. Let me see. Boom.
How are things showing now?
Okay, I put echo cancellation on. I clicked it off and clicked it back on to see if that happens. Okay, Ray. So Ray, did you make any adjustments to your speaker or whatever you're using that's bringing the volume of your sound up?
I did cut the volume down.
Okay. How does he sound now, folks? He said he did cut the volume down. Let's see this, Ray. Let's do a test. We're going to do a good test here. Let's go right here. Ray, can you read this to everybody, Ray?
The Great Black Migration participants that relocated to the manufacturing belt from the 1920s through the 1970s were outliers who recognized the time and place of favorable circumstances and moved north. Was that correct?
Okay, everybody, Ray just read off a very important document. When he read that off, how did he sound? Okay, we got Earl Owen says it's better, much better. Everybody is saying no echo. So Ray, that's what it is. I think when you came on, whatever your volumes were, they were blasting up, and that was causing the distortion. So keep your volumes wherever they are, Ray, because now you sound fantastic.
Okay, great.
According to everybody in the chat room, you're sounding great. And let me do something real quick, because I had someone come in and I had a few people super chat me. So let me do some super chat music and celebration and get back on track here. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the super chat, everybody that super chatted me. Thank you.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up, I wake up, flex, I'm down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 rub through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice, and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady.
Thank you for the super chat, everybody.
I wake
all
up,
right.
Thumb down that check, no drip this.
All right.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell me run it on. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check.
Thank you, everybody, for the super chat. Those of you that I might have missed that super chatted me, I appreciate it. It goes back into the program. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. I'm trying to acknowledge people, but let's get back on to the subject matter. And we're here with my man, Ray Alexander. Ray, let's get back on track. Where were we, brother? I'm sorry for some of the things that have happened, but we're back. We're here. We're going strong, brother. The Rust Belt refers to the deindustrialization of economic decline, population loss, and urban decay due to the shrinking of the once powerful industry sectors such as steel production and the automobile industry, which Black people really thrived and benefited from when they moved up to places like Detroit, Michigan. Now, you were saying earlier about Louisiana being, yes, it is a poor state, but I had said that it was a place that I would not move for some of those reasons, but maybe you can correct me, educate me on where you were going.
Well, Louisiana, land ownership, farming, having a multiple homes where you have a home there if you're from Louisiana and you live in a different state, because what we need to do is to take over that state politically because we have the numbers. I think that from your information, Louisiana is about, 32% Black? Let me see, it's going to come in over in just a moment. And so in order for us to improve Louisiana And to invest in Louisiana the way we need that population to be increased. Because what happened is that we left, many times we were terrorized away from those cities and those states, and we left those states. So it's 37%, no, it's 32% Black is Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana is 32.22%. Georgia is 31.61%. Maryland at 29.83%. South Carolina at 26.77%. Alabama at 26.64%. Delaware at 22.18%. And North Carolina at 21.44% Black population. That's on a ticker, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Ray.
So that is a long-term strategy, and also you have people from Louisiana that live all over. That could be where they can retire back to their home in those areas and invest in those areas. But for people who are wanting more viable economies, they're going to be heading right now to places like North Carolina, places like Georgia, the Atlanta area, places that have viable economies. Even South Carolina has a lot of good places. So what we'll need to do is be conscientious of that. And thanks for putting that up. As Charles Blow says, we must return south to increase our population density in order to build state and regional power.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do. Go ahead.
Right. This is what I'm going to do, brother. Because you said that, this is the time for me to bring in Charles Blow's video reinforcing what you just read right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to fire this up. I want everybody to look at this video. It's not a super long video, but Charles Blow, I have to admit, he gets right to the point. And with that said, let's get ready for the breaking news right now with Charles Blow.
Information is power.
Oh, as a columnist for the New York Times with a new book out today that is sure to get people talking. It's called The Devil You Know, a Black Power Manifesto. And in it, Blow proposes that Blacks in America should migrate to the South so that there will be Black majority states and cities, giving Black Americans greater political power. It would be a reversal of the historic Great Migration. Take a listen.
I understand why people migrated during the Great Migration. However, if they had not migrated, Black people would conceivably be the controlling interest in multiple southern states. They could control the Senate seats for up to 14 senators. They could control more electoral college votes than California and New York State combined. That's what state power looks like. Because of the Great Migration, it was diluted. If Black people chose, or enough of them chose, to return to the South, and reclaim that power that was stolen from them because they were forced out by terror, they could reclaim that power.
So why going back to the South? Why this reverse migration back there? Why not the West, for example?
Because you'll never be a large enough percentage of the population in the West to have any real power in the West. California's the biggest state out there. Black people are about 5% of the population of California. How many Black people would it require to flood into California before you had a real base of power and support? The thing about the South is that many of these states are already about a third Black already. It doesn't take that many Black people to move back to the South in order to change the dynamic. Look at what happened in Georgia, both flipping the presidential race and also electing two Democratic senators, also the first Black one from that state. When the last time that Georgia went Democrat was in 1992, Black people were 25% of this population in the state of Georgia. Now it's 33% of the population of Georgia. Since 1970, the Black population of Georgia has doubled. That's what power looks like. They didn't take over. They're not 51% of the population, but enough of them have migrated so far that it's still changed the political cap.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Charles Blow. And I know I'm going to read something because I heard I see a few people Rob Allbanks, it says, tell all black people to move back to the South is like saying, come back to the original slavery done to it. Well, the truth of the matter, brother Rob Allbanks, all over this country we call America, black people were in some oppression. So if you move to the West Coast, guess what happened in the West Coast? When black people migrated to the western part of the country, especially what we call the Bay Area, they didn't want us here. They were riots. There were fights. They were trying to keep black people from being able to come into California. And check this out. California is named after a black queen. Queen Eclethia is a black woman. On our state seal, they make her a white woman, but it was a black woman. So when black people migrated to the West in the first place, they were doing everything they could to keep us out of here. There was oppression here. When we moved up to the North, there was oppression there. Hell, how many of you realize that New Jersey is one of many other northern states to really hang on to slavery for a super long time? I think New Jersey was one of the first northern states to eventually were one of the last northern states to end their slave system. So it doesn't matter whether we go up north, we go south, we go west. There's all over this damn place called, excuse me, work there a little bit. All over this place we call North America, black people have been catching hell all over this. Wasn't it Malcolm X who said that he considers the South from Canada? He says anything below Canada, he considers the South. That includes the North, the Midwest, the South, the West Coast, and the East. He says anything below Canada, to him, he considers the South. So although we know that that was the area where they had plantations, what Charles Blow is saying is that we already make up most of the population in the southern part of this country. If black people come together in our numbers, we could control a lot of political shit. Now, I know someone or you said that black people need their own political party. I would say to you that sounds good, it feels good, but check this out. We live in the United States of America. Why do you think they use the eagle as the political symbol? Because why? There's only one system that works in this country that they're only going to operate off of, and that's the left wing and the right wing, Republicans and Democrats. If you notice, third parties have never had any success because the system was set up for a only two-party system. And let's be honest, the system was set up mainly to benefit white men who were landowners and slave owners. That's what the system was designed for. However, like other groups that we can learn from, other groups are able to have success, not only because they didn't go through what we went through, but they also have success because they're on code. They think collectively, they exchange their economics and commerce within their community, and they don't give their loyalty like black folks do, which is a damn shame,
Tell the truth.
to one political party. Look at the Asians. Although a lot of us are not happy with the fact that the Asians got the crime bill for their protection, but guess what? The Asians do not give loyalty to any one party, right? They stick together. They're on one accord. Black folks, we're all over the place. We got Jesse Lee Peterson sellouts around here running around talking. Within their cultures, they will punish the sellouts. Black people, we just let these sellouts run around, say what they want, and get away with stuff. So there is power in our numbers. There is power in us having political interest and being on code. I'll just stop right there. Ray, what do you think?
Well, the issue that we have never been asking all blacks to move anywhere. It will only take about 20% of blacks in most major areas to move back to strategically take over areas where we can have political power. And we can use our political power to establish economic power and to maintain that. So these are strategies that are long-term, that may take a couple of decades to complete. But we're seeing things happen pretty fast in Georgia. There are some strategic moves that we can make pretty rapidly. If we get, say, for instance, the population of Pennsylvania, specifically, it would, if 200,000 blacks moved to Delaware, then blacks would be the majority of Delaware. That's how strategic it is. And you already have the statewide congressional rep for Delaware. They only have one congressional rep for Delaware, and it's statewide. She's already positioned to become senator once one of those senators retired. So if you're struggling to make it in Pennsylvania, strategically move to Delaware. And 200,000 people in Delaware could take over that state. Other whites did Vermont like that maybe 50 years ago. Vermont used to be a conservative state. Now it's a liberal state. And Charles Blow talks about that in his book. So it's not everybody. It's a strategic group with a long-term plan for political empowerment. So some of the people who are distracting, then, you know, if you want to go to South America, go ahead and do that and be a micro minority with no rights to vote. You hear about those brothers that are going down there. They were farmers in Ecuador. They accused them wrongly of trying to be drug traffickers, and they put them in jail. And now we got to get some congressmen down there to help those brothers. But you have political rights here that were worked for by your ancestors. We're not finished with the game plan. Local political power is one step, state political power, and national political power. And we want to be equal players in that. You can control electoral college votes. This is why there is such a strong backlash at the state level. If you look at some of these states like Wyoming, these states that don't even have 1 million people, their senators control the budgets. You have Joe Manchin in West Virginia controlling the infrastructure budget today. Maybe that's what that woman was asking me about. Joe Manchin is the senator for the West Virginia. His one vote, they have reduced that infrastructure budget because he won't vote on it. That's just one person representing a state with less than 1 million people. We have 41 million Black Americans in the United States. And so we have to be strategic. You just can't sit by. Small people are going to go to different places, but the people who want long-term political and to maintain political and economic power, you're going to have to be strategic, and you're going to have to go where you can establish powerful roots, because it looks like places like Detroit, Cleveland will not be viable. As a matter of fact, Cleveland, the state of Ohio, lost one of its congressional districts, right? The state of Ohio has a Republican legislature. They're going to split Nina Turner's district in half. So Ohio may not have a Black congressional representative. So we have to be strategic about that. Maryland is a place that we need to be thinking about moving more people to. What were we going to say, brother?
Right. No, I was going to say, let me just put my volumes down a little bit too. I was going to say this, that the reason why we get to shorten the stick is that not only is it a system that they set up for their benefit, but they're doing exactly the thing that Charles Blow says that we should be doing. The Republicans, white folks in those states, in those southern states, are rallying together, and they're coming up things like, let's mess around with people's right to vote. Let's target certain groups. And so, and he's right. If Black people hadn't scattered themselves throughout this whole country, and we would have stayed in the, and I understand why Black people had to move from the South. Let's not get that twisted, because they wanted a better life. They were tired of the bullshit that was going on in these southern states. But if Black people had a state in these areas, they would be dominating the political discord, and they would be able to put people in seats that they wanted in terms of politically. Okay. And I know there's people out there who don't believe in political systems and what have you, and say, hey, we should just move back to Africa. We should just have our own land. Guess what? Even if you have your own land in America, you still got to pay taxes. Anytime you're paying taxes, you're still paying into the system. A lot of people will say, well, you know, I can be sovereign. No, you're not. As long as you're paying taxes to this country, you're not sovereign. If you're sovereign, you're your own goddamn country, your own government. We don't have what the Native Americans have, what Native people have. That's sovereign, right? We're not a nation. We're not seen as a nation. We're in this salad bowl called America, mixed in, trying to figure out where to fit in right and get what is due us, like reparations, which is a debt that this country owes Black people. And I'm going to put that up on the screen like that. Information Man says this: reparations, America owes us a debt. They have a debt to pay. Now, Ray, let me go back into the chat room because I got a super chat from somebody, but I want to acknowledge what they were saying. And that's brother, the Kyle saying, salute fam. I just spoke about this last week and I spoke about this all last year. Carolina, Georgia, and Mississippi, and Louisiana and Alabama are viable. That's what this brother is saying. The Collie, who gave me a $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
I really appreciate that, brother. Definitely, I am going to play Sarah the music that I normally play. But before I do all of that, let's stay on point with the area that we're talking about now. Then there was somebody else who gave me a super chat. I got to go up, and we got Alan Christian, who gave me a $5 super chat, who says, do you think that Sacramento, California will be the last resort for blacks to reside due to its low cost and not being too far from the Bay Area? First of all, I'm going to just be honest with you. Black people are already moving from the Bay Area. The first move that black people made from Oakland and San Francisco was to Pittsburgh, Antioch. Now that's getting saturated. So black people have to move further and further out. Sacramento is a viable place. But however, and I know this for a fact because I live here in Cali, the price of living is starting to gradually go up in the Sacramento area because so many people are moving from the Bay Area, which is becoming unlivable as far as economics. And now people are moving down here and they're saturating the Sacramento area, which is causing what? If you got a lot of people coming in, then homeowners that are renting houses and people who own apartment complexes, they can jack some of the prices up because there's a demand on housing. There is a demand on housing in California overall. We have low number amounts of housing here. So let me just get right into that. And thank you for the super chat. You made a very good point there. Excellent questions, Ray, that people are asking. But there's somebody else that super chatted me, and I want to put them on the board. And I'm saying to myself, what happened to them? I think it was Descendant. Someone by the name Descendant. There we go. Descendant said, our situation, I don't even know what to say, is what this sister is saying. She gave me a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, sister, for that super chat. And I don't know. All I know is that we're not doing well. Black people are not doing well. Ray, this is what I'm going to do right now, brother. I got another video. I want you to speak on this video. This is about Detroit. And I want you to explain whatever information, whatever you know about Detroit. Detroit is in hard times. Let me tell you something real quick. I did a video when I first started YouTubing. In some kind of way, I lost that video where I talked about how in Detroit, black people were losing their homes because you had people putting their homes on auction and auctioning their homes. And then they would knock on the door. Imagine, Ray, do you own a home? Mm-hmm. And you're having some economic problems, right? You're having, because guess what was happening in Detroit? And everybody should know this. Detroit was over assessing the homes of black people. So black people were getting a bill in the mail saying that you owe this much property tax from to the city. And the city was overcharging the black folks out there because they're having a lot of problems in Detroit. And black people were like, I can't pay that. What is this? And so then there was a white man and he had black women in his house on computers looking at homes in Detroit areas where black people mainly lived and saying, we're going to auction this home, that home, while you're living in it, brother, while you're living in it. So imagine, Ray, and everybody listening, you're in your home. You get this tax assessment. You don't even know that the city has overcharged you. You got some white dude or somebody out there who's working in real estate. They got your home on a computer, auctioning your home off to the highest bidder. Then they come and knock on your door like, knocking. Unbelievable. I gotta hit the bells. And they ring your doorbell and you're saying, hello, who is it? Hello, Ray Alexander. Hi, my name is Information Man. I just want to let you know that we auctioned off your home someone, we actually, well, no, what they do is they buy the home. We actually have brought your home from the city, and we're going to give you two options. You can either now become a renter of the home that you thought that you owned. And if you're not willing to rent it to us, we're going to have to ask you to leave because we're going to auction this home off to the highest bidder so we can make some money. They're like fucking pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you think you're saying to yourself, I still own the home, but I got to figure out how to pay this tax assessment that you've been overcharged for. They knock on your door and say, Ray, we know that you were owner of this home, but you don't own it anymore. We just brought the home from under you. But you know what? You can still stay here and we'll fix it up for you because we can see that you got some problems with your house and you can rent from us. This is what they were doing or were doing or are doing to black people in Detroit. Now, with that said, everybody.
Information is power.
I'm going to play the short video, and I need you, Ray, to give your assessment, and I need people in the chat room to stay on point and think about what I just told you a minute ago and think about this short video that you're about to see. All right, this is incredible what I'm about to show you. Short little video. It gets right to the point, and here's the breaking news.
Information is
Just weeks ago, Detroit became the largest municipality ever to file for bankruptcy. There are many unknowns as the city attempts a restructuring plan. Stephen Henderson, editorial editor at the Detroit Free Press, grew up here and is intimately aware of the city's fighting spirit, but says bankruptcy may be the city's toughest challenge yet.
There's not much difference between most places in Detroit and post-Katrina New Orleans. It's not as shocking because it happened over a long period of time, but it's just as devastating.
Detroit's decline from an industrial powerhouse into a financial ruin has been slow and long. At its height in the 1950s, Detroit boasted more than 300,000 manufacturing jobs. Now, that number is less than 30,000. That 90% decrease has left huge holes like the ones in Purnak's neighborhood all across the city. There are at least 60,000 parcels of vacant land. Blighted houses are a frequent reminder of just how deep Detroit's problems are. The city's population peaked at 1.8 million, but now is down to about 700,000. That means a much smaller tax base for a city that's trying to provide all the same services. 40% of the city's streetlights don't work for lack of repair crews. The average response time for the Detroit Police Department to a 911 call is 58 minutes. And buses are constantly late if they come at all, making it hard for residents like Ivory Drake to make it to work and keep his job.
It used to be I could get on the bus and be anywhere and I just sit and wait an hour before I could start work. But now, if you don't get out early enough or 2 hours before you have to be to work, you're late.
The city has promised that reinvestment in these key services will be the silver lining of the bankruptcy. The city's recently appointed emergency manager, Kevin Orr, says they hope to reinvest $1.25 billion in service upgrades and infrastructure. Here's Orr in a conversation with NewsHour's Ray Suarez in July.
What Detroiters should expect is that services are going to get better. We're already focusing on lighting, blight, police services, health, safety, and welfare concerns.
But Detroiters like him and Ivory Drake are still skeptical about whether the bankruptcy process means the city can improve their East Detroit neighborhood.
I bet you if you come back
next year, my lights will still be out.
It's probably still be looking the same. You'll probably still have them houses over there that's vacant, the one right next to me, the one right there on the corner. It's not going to help at all.
I think the legitimate cynicism people have is that bankruptcy will just be about making a bare bones, bare minimum city financially solvent with Spartan services and not that many people.
Some communities are beyond waiting for the city to turn things around. They've taken matters into their own hands. Every day, residents in this northwest corner of Detroit are rolling up their sleeves and using whatever tools they can get their hands on, even pickup trucks, to tear down vacant houses. They're transforming urban wastelands into gardens and boarded up storefronts into murals.
A lot of information here for you.
We drop by a busy.
All right, folks, that's what I wanted to show you. And it's serious. It's very serious. You got black folks that are living in places like that's Detroit, where you got that type of blight. Remember I talked about, look at these brothers getting on the bus. And they said in that video that sometimes the bus don't even show up and you late for work. It's a damn shame. And that's what it is, folks. So, Ray, what are your thoughts about that particular video? I'm going to send a link to my Brad brother so that he can come in and talk about the home that he purchased in Georgia while you break down your thoughts. And I look in the chat room and read some of the thoughts of the people after you break down your thoughts. Ray, what do you think?
Well, what happens, that's a very good video to show what's happening. And that's not just Detroit, that's Youngtowns, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, Cleveland. A lot of these places are not coming back to the level that they were. And what happens, we need to be aware of that. It's a losing game, and don't wait out a losing game. There are better opportunities, get skill sets, move out of that. Detroit will still be black. It'll be maybe around 500,000 people. But right now, for the millennials, for the Gen Z, strategically looking at a lot of areas in the South would be better for them. Places like Georgia, places like North Carolina. Maryland is considered the South. Maryland is below the Mason-Dixon line. Delaware, by the U.S. Census, is considered the South. You have viable areas that you can move to and have a better life. Alabama now produces more vehicles in the U.S. than Detroit, because you have Toyota, Mitsubishi, Mazda. A lot of these places are already there. They produce 1 million vehicles a year. Huntsville, Alabama, where you have the Redstone Arsenal, that's where you're doing the 5th generation new weaponry for the Army. There's a $50 billion investment. That's one of the most viable economic areas in the country. You also have Alabama A&M down there, which is a historically black college for engineering and technology and other areas. So right now, it's time for black residents of the Rust Belt cities to come to terms with the fact that the South offers them a better life and more effective and sustainable political power. Unfortunately, Detroit's renaissance will take several more decades, and its current black population will not likely experience the benefits. Blacks in Motown should not wait out a losing game. It's time for black residents of Detroit and other Rust Belt cities to embrace the New South and return to the land and southern roots of their black American ancestors to reclaim it and make it the good and just, beloved community that the civil rights generation fought for. Right now, the investments in Detroit are in 5% of Detroit. It would be in what we would call, Detroit has become 2 cities, one white and privileged, the other black and deprived. So what you have right now, the person who developed Quicken Loans is he's a billionaire. He's investing in Detroit, but it's only in certain areas. It's about 4 miles in Midtown, where you're seeing the new stadium being built, the new hotels. That is going to be where Wayne State University is, Detroit Medical Center. That's going to be about 5% of where Detroit is revitalized. But the thing is, most of the people will be coming in from the suburbs to work in Detroit and go back. And then you have the new millennials who are coming in to work, to gentrify it, but it doesn't include us. The school system, they've closed a lot of schools. The schools won't be back. And it's just not the place anymore. And it's not that we don't want to sound hard on our brothers and sisters in Detroit. In those areas, we're sounding the alarm to move on. It's not going to turn around more than likely in your lifetime. Don't put your children and grandchildren and possibly great-grandchildren in a situation where they'll be living in poverty as well as without political power.
Okay. Let me do this. I got my friend brother on. Brother Logan is on. Marcus Logan is on. I'm going to bring him on in just a moment. But I want to say what's up to Real Lions Talk. Real Lions Talk said that the stream is on fire and that he's sharing it in his social media. Everybody that's been watching out there, that's in the chat room as well, share the video. This is how you grow the channel. This is how we get the word out about this. Now, brother Marcus, welcome to the Information Man Show, Frat. What I want to do is I want to play. All right, brother. I want to play your video first.
Okay.
And then I want you to explain to everybody, because you are a brother who left California with your family. You have a beautiful family. I see it on Facebook all the time. And I want you to explain to the audience here why you made the move from California to the South, in particular in Georgia, where you are and you reside right now. Let me go ahead and play the video that I copied, and you gave me permission to play this video where you're out in your yard and you're breaking down the glory of your home and that yard, man. I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, let me play that right now.
All right, I'm back outside again. This is my backyard. It's not fenced in yet, but it shall be. Got a little bit of land out here. I'm gonna try this grounding thing again. Hopefully nothing be rustling in the bushes. I'll see. We out here making noise. All right, you see this forest right here? My property line goes back about 20 yards. Show you the back of my house. It's the back of my house there. It's 3,800 square feet, 6 bedroom, 4 bath. Paid $381,000. So if you're looking to move, holla at me. I'll get you in contact.
All right, brother. I'm going to put you front and center right now. I want you to let everybody know, why did you decide? I see you got your lovely family in the vehicle right now. Why did you move and leave California to go to Georgia? And how did you luck up on such beautiful property? You got a yard out there that you can do some things with. That kind of home here in California would cost you a grip of money. Go right ahead, brother, and welcome again to the Information Man Show.
All right, so the main driving force in us leaving California was the ability to buy a home. Both myself and my wife we both work full time. You know, we have we make over $100,000 combined in California for the size of the house that we were looking for. We would not have paid, you know, less than $700,000 to $800,000, and that didn't make any sense, you know, to us. So we have been talking about moving out to Georgia for a couple years, and we finally put ourselves in a position to do it financially. We got our credit scores up, and we were able to come across this property out here in Atlanta, which it's in Covington. It's about 20 to 30 minutes east of Atlanta.
Okay. So you're east of, so you're not actually in Atlanta proper, but you're east of Atlanta.
Yes, east of Atlanta. We're in Newton County. We're in Covington, Georgia, and we originally came out here. We were under contract for another house that was a little bit smaller. It was about 3,000 square feet, about 5 bedrooms, and not as much land. That contract fell through, so we were actually kind of floating out here for about 2 months, and then came upon this property, which actually had 2 cash offers on there that fell through, and we were able to put in our offer, and they accepted our offer, and we were finally able to close on June 11th. But you know, just having the ability to, or even the possibility to buy a house of that size with land attached to it, you know, is a big move for our family. Yes, we're all originally from California. Yet yes, it was hard leaving home, but it was definitely time to leave the Bay Area, because what we were paying for rent for a 5-bedroom house in Antioch, California, which is about 30 to 45 minutes.
I was just talking about Antioch, how a lot of black folks migrated to Antioch at one point in time. That was the place to be. Yep.
So the house that we just moved from, we were paying like $3,700 a month just for a 5-bedroom house that we were renting. And you know, we're like, you know, it's time for us to own something. It's time for us to you know, to have something to pass down to our children, to our grandchildren. But yeah, you know, it like Keith just said, you know, it's about leveling up. You know, we want to do something different, and we were very motivated to do so.
All right, let me say this. You got a 6-bedroom home. I saw the yard that you have out there, and you were saying that you still have to create your fence barriers or whatever we call that. Imagine tell everybody, because there's a lot of people who are listening to this right now who don't live in the West Coast, have no idea of the price of living out here. What would that type of home cost in a decent community?
In a decent community, easy, 900,000, 1.2 million, 1.5 million.
Tell the truth.
Easy. Let me ask you this question, because you know people got all these comments. Well, why didn't you go to Tennessee or Alabama? Look, you move where you feel comfortable at. Yeah. But I'll ask you the question: what was it about this particular area in Atlanta, or Atlanta in general, that attracted you?
So my wife, she actually used to live out here.
Okay, see, folks,
right back in 2008, and she had always wanted to come back. When I was graduating high school, I wanted to apply to colleges out here. I wanted to apply to Morehouse, but at the time, my grandmother was like, "No, you can't go." You know, so you know, I was 18 then, and I'd always wanted to come to Atlanta. Never been out here, so now I'm grown and I'm able to make my own decisions. So we decided to make that move.
All right, now this morning when I saw your post, I got to be honest, it was news to me that you were in Georgia. And someone's asking right there, I think Rob Allbanks is asking, how long have you been in Georgia?
All right, so we landed here in Georgia on April 13th with the intent to close on our original house on April 29th.
Yes.
So we've been kind of floating around in the area for about 2.5 months now. But now we've officially settled out here on June 11th. So yeah, so we've been out here since about April.
Now let me ask you this question that's very important. Have you had a chance to assess the schools and the educational system in Georgia, where you are in Georgia?
Yeah, so currently, because I am a teacher. I see someone asked if I was retired. I am a teacher for the Newton County School District.
Okay.
For Newton County, the schools are about the same to say like Oakland, Antioch, Richmond.
Okay. Let me ask another question because I don't want to take up your family time. What about one of the plus things that is there's a lot of Black people that live out in Georgia in general. So in comparison to the Bay Area where Black people are kind of scattered around, we're either concentrated in Oakland, places like that. How does it feel? Because I'm originally from Baltimore, as you know, and when I go back there, I'm around a lot of Black folks, so it's a different feeling. How does it feel since you're close to Atlanta to see so many Black people and to see so many Black businesses and things that you wouldn't often see as often or frequent in the Bay Area, where we're more scattered?
Okay, so I'm originally from San Francisco, and I grew up in the Western Addition in Fillmore. There's a huge echo.
Yeah, you know why? Because you don't have a headset on. That's why it echoes like that. Or turn the volume of your mic down a little bit. Because my man Ray Alexander was having the same problem. Yeah, and everybody, if his sound sounds better, just say yes in the chat room. Yeah, you guys just turn it down just a little bit.
So,
okay.
So where I grew up in San Francisco, in Fillmore, in the Western Addition, it was pretty much all Black. You saw Black businesses, people who own their home. It was great. You know, this was in the 80s. And then gentrification started. So it was like, you know, I missed that. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to come to the South, because of having that opportunity to be around Black business. Black business owners, Black people who own their houses. Black excellence in general.
Okay. Well, let me just say this to you, brother, and we'll be talking. I want to once again, congratulations on the home. Congratulations on the move. Your family looks fantastic. I wish nothing but the best for you and your children, your wife, yourself personally, and nothing but success in your life there in the state of Georgia. And this is fantastic. This is an example of a brother who's from California, where it's very expensive. He made the move, and your money was able to stretch you to get a lovely 6-bedroom home. You got land back there to work on. And if you ever flip that home, you're probably going to get good value for whatever improvements you make to the home. And you just invested in something for the future and for your children. And that's why you're high value, because you are a man, a black man who is building a family. You're leaving a legacy. And that's what it's really all about. And I want to thank you, brother Marcus Logan. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for letting me use your video, because I wanted to drive home a point here, and to have your testimony on here, it drives it home even more so. So y'all have a great day. I see your lovely daughters and everything in back there. What's up, y'all? Your son looking good, brother, looking good. So y'all enjoy y'all day. Peace to you, brother. 0685. Have a great day, brother. Take care. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my man, Marcus Logan, who came on in. And let me bring something down here, who came on in. Ray, what are your thoughts about my man Marcus Logan? I've known him for a long time. We both went to San Francisco State University. We're a part of the same brotherhood. And not all of us are bad people. We do work in the community. We do build families. We do give back to our community. The brother has the right frame of mind. I've known him for quite a long time. What are your thoughts?
I think it's an excellent move. He did the right thing. He has given his children and potential grandchildren the opportunity to have a better life, where they can be power that would not be possible for his children and grandchildren. Right now, California is going through financial crisis. Right. The political reality in California is not viable for us. That's in the Bay Area or Los Angeles. So his children can be in a state where we're probably going to see a governor that looks like them, looks like senators, lieutenant governors, attorney generals. They will be able to have long-term wealth, generational wealth, so that they can move forward.
Okay. Now, Ray, before the brother came, this has been great timing to have him come right on when I send him the link. The video that I showed earlier about Detroit, I'm reading here, and this was, I mean, we're in the year 2021, and this is continuing to happen in Detroit. Detroit population is plummeting, in part due to growth of the suburbs, people fleeing and going to the suburbs. In the 1950s, there was race riots. In 1967, there was a decline in auto manufacturing. And in the 2008, there was a financial crisis in Detroit. So all these things have impacted. But the thing that I brought up earlier about how black people are sitting in their homes, and they had their homes pretty much brought from underneath their feet, to the point that some of them had to rent the home that they owned. And then come to find out, which is a damn shame,
Tell the truth.
the city of Detroit, the county, whatever, they were over assessing the people. They were over assessing because they were greedy for more money, because they've got serious problems. I'm going to be honest. Detroit was a bumping city when black folks first got there, and the automobile industry was really popping, and black folks were living good up there. But I gotta be honest. If I was living in Detroit now, I would have to get the hell out of Detroit, given those circumstances.
I agree with you. I mean, let me say this in a delicate way. That couple that was in that home, that did not look like Detroit. You know, that looked like they were somewhere in the backwoods. And I'm not saying this, I want to be kind and understand, but that did not look like you were in a major manufacturing city. So if they're living that poorly, their children are what they want to be concerned about. If you got to get an everyday job in a small town, and you can purchase a small home and have access to affordable health care, that would be better, in my view, than living like that in Detroit, because it's not coming back. It's going to be the investments are in information technology. They are important immigrants. They are developing certain areas of Detroit, but for the most part, Detroit as a city is not going to be a viable place for Gen Z or millennials to build their future.
Well, you actually let me bring this up because Rob Allbanks, he's been speaking his mind in the chat room, and he says this. This goes back to the point that we talked about before. He says, my point exactly, Grand Mac Code. How many people moved away from the South to do better and come back to retire? That's a fact. But you gotta look at why they moved. The South, this is what they say. Most black people who left the South at a time when the South was really not benefiting black people. When black people were catching hell, they were dealing with blatant racism. Not that racism has gone away. So a lot of black people left because there was economic boom in the North and in the West. That's why most black people, if I'm not mistaken, Ray Alexander can correct me, most black people migrated away from the South for jobs and opportunity and housing, better housing opportunities. Now they're moving back because they've made their money and the South has changed. Hear me now. Don't jump on me, everybody. The South has changed from what it was when they left. It doesn't mean that racism has gone away, that black people don't still get treated poorly overall in this country. But the South that they return back to when they retire, and it's not my word, most black people that you see on videos and who give testimony, it's different than what it was when they left. And they're able to have the life that they want, even more so with the money that they've accumulated through good investment, job opportunity, ownership in business, and they bring that money back and they're able to live a little bit better than they could if they were staying in the West Coast or the East Coast, where the price of living would be much higher. Therefore, they can make their dollar stretch. I'm going to move when I retire because I know that my money is going to do a lot more for me out of California because of our high taxes. So economics is a driving factor in this, as well as people just saying, I don't like the lifestyle that I have in this particular place, and I can actually have a better lifestyle back in the South, believe it or not, with all the racist history that the South has had. And I'm not going to deny that racist history. And let me say, Miss Winfield, TC Winfield, HBC Queen, saying hello to the chat and mods. Thank you for coming over, sister. So wonderful to see you. Been a minute since I've seen you, but fantastic to see you. Thank you for coming over. Let me see. Rob Allbank says my point exactly. Okay, I read that. We got Keith Winston who said Weston who says, when I was living in Grand Rapids, I learned a lot about Detroit and Flint. And remember, in Flint, they destroyed the water sources. Black folks out there drinking lead in the water. You got, wait a minute, in Baltimore, you got lead in the damn paint in the homes the way we can find disasters wherever we live, but we got problems in some of those other cities too. And last time I checked, the police are still cracking our head no matter where we are. They're cracking our head in the West Coast, the North Coast. They are giving us police brutality wherever we live. So I'm not going to deny that either. But I still believe that there are some advantages that black people are getting economically that have moved back to the South. Ray, you got anything you want to add, brother? Or
Another thing I would say to Rob, the gentleman, is that other people are moving to those southern locations and having a very good life. You have people from other parts of the world who are moving to different parts of the South, suburban and rural areas, and living very well as nurses, occupational therapists, respiratory therapists, as IT professionals, as people who are handymen, who are mechanics, auto mechanics, electricians. The issue is to get your skill sets together, have high-level skill sets that give you high income, and you can move.
Right. Let me read this here, Ray. Oh, Ray, go ahead. I want you to read this, Ray, because this drives home the point of what we were talking about before. how black folks in Detroit, Michigan are being overtaxed, overburdened. And it's not just happening in Detroit, it's happening in Philadelphia and other parts of that Rust Belt. Read that, Ray, if you don't mind.
Well, as rental prices continue to increase, and with over 150,000 vacant or abandoned buildings, Black Detroiters are paying high property taxes and being rent burdened at unusually high levels. And let me add something to that as well.
Yes, sir.
Detroit is becoming two cities. It says that it's a city, one white and privileged, the other black and deprived. So what's happening is that they're revitalizing Midtown, they're revitalizing Corktown. These are some small areas of Detroit near the new stadium, near the basketball arena, near let's see, we call it the Detroit Medical Center, Wayne State University, the Cultural Institute. That's where they're investing in Detroit, and they're basically neglecting the rest. So Detroit is not the viable area that it used to be, unfortunately. And what they need to do is get, and we're just sounding the alarm. We're not trying to, and the people that live there know that. A lot of the young kids, just like that gentleman who wanted to move, I know a lot of people who moved away. Southfield is halfway okay, but they're going to school in the South. They're going down to Georgia Fairfield State University, joining ROTC there. So it's just an opportunity that we need, and we never said all. We said about 20%. Some people are going to remain, and you're going to have talked about is that even in these northern cities, the same type of discrimination that they talked about. They experienced there, so they went to the north and they didn't really experience the American dream like they thought. So you have to go. You have the numbers politically to protect yourself, and you have to get control of these states because right now, Charles Bush says in the next 30 years, California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, those will all be majority Hispanic states, and they'll control their Senate seats. What we need to do is control our Senate seats, because that's where the fight is going to be. We need to control the states and the Senate and the electoral college votes.
Hey, Ray, I think the same problem's happening again as you're speaking, a little bit of an echo effect. So maybe you can, I don't know if you have to tune down your speaker system again. It's just, I think it's yard streams because we didn't have these problems the last time you were on. But your points were well made, and I want to read something, and I want to thank Vicky Lewis, who came in and said Ray is speaking. You should mute or mute mic until he finishes to eliminate the echo. So maybe you know what? She's making a good point. Maybe I should mute my mic every time Ray talks because maybe my mic is contributing to the echo effect. Most people are saying that they don't hear an echo effect from me. Does anybody hear an echo effect from me right now? Put a yes if you hear an echo effect from my microphone. But I think that's an excellent point by Vicky Lewis that maybe I should mute my mic when the brother begins speaking. Let me also say this. Ray, I'm going to try this experiment. Every time you talk, I'm going to mute my mic because maybe it's a combination of not only you, but a combination of my mic being open. I don't know what's happening. We didn't have this problem before, but let me read this before you say something. We do a test. Only 5% of Detroit has been redeveloped. That's a damn shame. And Black Detroit has been left out. Overall, citywide data suggests that Detroit is continuing to express the decline that makes it the worse off than it was in 2000 to 2010. Now, this is what we're saying, folks. We're not saying you are a grown person. You have the right to live where you want to live. If where you live is where you feel comfortable and you have family and you have employment. We're not asking you. We're not saying that you better get up and leave. What we're simply saying is that when we're laying out the data here, the data says that Black people overall would do better as a community if we went back to the South because we have larger numbers of us living in the South. The price of living is cheaper. The quality of life is a little bit better. Schools may be better. And Black people may be able to thrive politically and have some political power because we will have the numbers, opposed to us being scattered about in these different states where we really have no power, no political power, no real social power. And we're living in places like California, for example, where I'm at, in other places where economically we're being pushed out. We're being gentrified out of all these major urban settings. Black people, unless you got a great paying job and you're a professional athlete and you're just doing very well economically, overall, when you look at the totality of the pie, the pizza pie, okay, the sweet potato pie, Black people are not doing well in some of these places. In Los Angeles, California, Black people are being moved out. We have some of the highest Black homelessness in this country. Where do you think it is? Where do you think it is, folks?
Tell the truth.
It's in Los Angeles, California. It's in San Francisco. It's on Skid Row. We have some of the highest Black homelessness among Black men in the western part of the country, even in New York area. So we're not doing well in these particular states that we have become attached to because our ancestors left the South when it was very unlivable for them to move forward to the North, where the North and the West was viable for us at one point in time. It's becoming slowly unviable for some of us, maybe not for all of us, but a lot of us. So I just want everybody to understand that you make the choices. We're not telling you what to do. We're simply we're just simply reporters telling you this is what's really happening. And I live in California and I make a pretty damn good amount of money for the profession that I do. And I got to tell you, life is still a struggle. Life is still difficult. Why? Because although I get paid well, the price of living across the country is going up, in particular in California, where we pay high taxes and we don't really have strong rent control, for example. It becomes a struggle because things are going up and up and up. So we all, no matter if you're making good pay, we all are going to be facing some economic wall that we hit, right? Because price of living is going up and wages are stagnant. A lot of people are not getting wages. A lot of people are not lucky enough to have a pension plan on their job. So there's a lot to think about, folks. So I just wanted to put that out as a disclaimer, because I know somebody's going to look at this video and say, them Negroes trying to tell us what to do. No, we're simply giving you advisement here based on the numbers and the data that we're looking at. That's what we're doing. Ray, let me go to another border here. And like you said, you got with Black America, you got two Americas, one white and one Black, as we know. And Detroit has become two cities. Once again, one white, one privileged, and the other Black and deprived, less than half a mile from the GM Renaissance Center, most visible market of Detroit downtown. Let me go into this slider right here. It's important that data points is the share of jobs in the cities actually held by Detroiters at each demographic level. The number of jobs held by residents has dropped over time, while employment for non-Detroiters. So this is what's happening, Ray. They're saying that in some of these states where Black people are struggling because of these economic issues, you also have non-Detroiters, people coming in from the outside, who are also making it even bad for those Black Detroiters that are already there, trying to still remain there, because you have people coming in from the outside, buying up property underneath us, and so on and so forth. So these are serious problems.
Very much. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We should have did that test. Okay, say that again, Ray. Everybody, Ray's gonna say, this is what I'm gonna do, Ray. I'm gonna have you read something and see if everybody can hear an echo or no echo. Ray, go ahead and read that, for example.
The South now offers a more affordable and better quality of life in the Rust Belt. Things have drastically changed for the worst in the Rust Belt, and in Detroit no longer offers a better life for its citizens.
Okay. Everybody, when Ray was reading that, did you hear an echo? If you heard no echo, say no, no echo. If you heard an echo, say yes, we heard an echo. Let us know. And tell the truth. Good.
Tell the truth.
Okay. They're saying that they still could. Oh, you know what I did wrong? I'm supposed to mute myself. So Ray, this is what we're going to do. And this falls in line with the program. I want you to read another one, Ray.
Okay.
And this time I'm going to mute myself. Ray, I want you to read that while I mute myself. Everybody, I'm going to mute myself. Ray's going to read another passage. And I want you to once again put in the chat room if you hear him echoing. I want to see if my mic is interfering with this. And now I'm muting myself. Go, Ray.
The Great Migration generation has to come to understand and recognize that their best social, economic, and political opportunities are no longer in the former manufacturing Rust Belt, but in the New South.
Okay, everybody. When I muted my mic, did you hear Ray echo? Ray, I think I've discovered the problem. When you talk, I must mute up. When I have my mic open, and it might be the way I connected this to my computer because I'm using my mix board and I actually Bluetoothed it, and I probably shouldn't have did that. But either here or there, they're hearing no echo, only when I mute my mic. So this is what we're going to do, Ray, for the remainder of the program as we get close to conclusion. Every time you begin to talk, I will simply mute up. And then when I am ready to talk, I will begin to talk. And then you can mute up. We'll just go back and forth like that, interchangeable. Ray, at this time, before I say anything else further, is there anything else you want to add to the program? And let me say what's up to Bob TV. We'll put him on the screen. This is Bob TV. He says we're now good on the mic. Everybody, I need you to do me a favor. I need you all to check out Bob TV. He needs support over there. The brother does an incredible program. Just write his name down, subscribe to his channel. This brother shouts me out all the time. This brother admires what I do over here. Sometimes I listen to his show and he will quote things that I talk about. He gives me a lot of respect. And in turn, I want to give him respect by seeing people subscribe to his channel. Peggy Roster, subscribe to his channel, follow him. Follow the brother. I guarantee you he gives you excellent commentary on the bullshit that is going on today. Now, I'm about to mute myself. And Ray, if you want to go into another area before we conclude, anything else you want to add, I have just muted myself.
I did want to say to the chat and the audience to check out Charles Blow's book, The Black Power Manifesto. I'm going to put it in the chat room. And that is the basis for what we are doing this. If we do nothing, everything remains the same. We have to be proactive. We have to be strategic to improve our lives, to empower ourselves politically and economically, take strategy. And this is a strategy that's a long-term strategy that we're working on, and that's what we need to do.
Before we get to conclusion, I want to ask you this question, and let me put this on the board. I thought I put this on the board already. What's going on here? And right there, the ticker. And I'm going to take it off of ticker and put it on the screen. So give me 1 minute. I know I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to take that off of that and put it on banner. Ray, I want you. Oops, not that one. Let me see. Right here, folks. All right. Let me see. I thought I took that off of there. What am I doing? Hang on, Ray. Let me take it off a ticker and put it on. There we go. All right. Right there. Ray, I want you, to the best of your ability, to explain why is it that the United States lists these cities as the best cities to live? They say Huntsville, Alabama, Lexington, Kentucky, Nashville, North Carolina, which I kind of understand. Charlotte is a great place, they say. Fort Myers, Florida, if I'm saying that right. Washington, D.C., Austin, Texas. Why, in your estimate, Ray, are these overall the best places to live in America. Like I would have never thought that Huntsville, Alabama, because Alabama is not a place that I would want to be my first place I would want to move to the South to. I would probably go to North Carolina before Alabama. But what is it about that you may or may not know about, or anybody in the chat room may know about these particular places? Lexington, Kentucky, Nashville. I do have a friend, Lions Den lives in Tennessee, which he says he's enjoying. North Carolina. What is it about these places that you're familiar with?
Well, that's where the new digital economy is. Huntsville, Alabama is the home of the Redstone Arsenal. This is the place where we produce the weaponry for fifth generation military power. That's where we did initially establish the scientists to develop the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And that's where right now the US is investing $50 billion to revitalize those systems. And so that's why there has been a building boom and a relocation boom to Huntsville. So that's why that's viable. So all of this, in addition, Huntsville has a $1.5 billion Mazda plant that's been newly built. Alabama produces more cars, about 1 million a year, from several foreign manufacturers, Mazda, Toyota. It's a lot of manufacturing there and their suppliers. So that's why in Birmingham, believe it or not, the University of Alabama Birmingham Medical Center is one of the top medical schools, dental schools, pharmacy schools, nursing school programs in the U.S. The MBA program and the dean of the School of Business at the University of Alabama Birmingham is Black. And they have a young Black mayor who is a Morehouse grad, and he's an attorney. And he is making Alabama, Birmingham, a new tech hub. You can Google that. So the thing is, people are thinking about Alabama of 50 years ago. And I'm telling you, people are coming from other parts of the world, working in information technology, working in healthcare, working in education, living a very good life, while people are stuck in Cleveland, Detroit, Gary, Indiana, Youngstown, and it's not working for them. So I say go visit your grandparents in the South or your great-grandparents and find out how much it would be for you to buy land and to build you a home. You can stay up there, and if you're working remote and they have the basic broadband for you to do that, that's an easy move. And you don't have to go to the biggest city. Go to the places that are quiet and affordable. Like a lot of people are going to Atlanta, but Fort Valley, Georgia, Macon, Georgia is a very nice area to live. And you have Fort Valley State University for the brothers and sisters that want to go down there and they want to go to a public school with a lot of resources. That's a historically black university with 1,000-acre campus. So and it's a very nice campus, very good programs there. So I'd say check those things out, because we are missing out on this. And I'm trying to say this in a way, other people from other parts of the world are moving throughout the South. They're working in these industries and they're living a very nice life, a very good life. And we're being stuck in these areas where we're being pushed out. The Detroit is no longer viable. We love Motown. We appreciate what Berry Gordy did at that time. But right now, for the millennials, for Generation Z and retirees, it's not a great thing.
Okay, Ray, let me, Ray, Mike, mute yourself. I'm gonna make a few statements so that we don't have echo effect. Someone in the chat room has said, is Tennessee part of the South? Here's the map. This is the map right here. TN stands for Tennessee. Tennessee is right next to Kentucky. There's Mississippi. There's Alabama right under it. Georgia right next to Alabama. South Carolina, North Carolina, right? You got Texas. And Rob Allbanks, I know you were talking about some of the racial things in Alabama. That's one of the reasons why I was like, I'm not a big fan of Alabama. But we're not telling you this is where you got to move. We're just simply showing you the data. According to the data that I have on the screen here, according to the data, they say that these are technically the best places to live at in America because of what Ray has just said, because of the job opportunities and things of that nature. The job opportunities, what's happening in the industries like Texas is on here. In Austin, Texas, that's the industry where you've got the computers. That's the Silicon Valley of the South. So we're not saying that this is where you got to go. We're simply on this particular data here saying that according to the data, these are considered the best places in America because of the industries, the cost of living, so on and so forth. But as I put on there earlier, I had the ticker. What I'm going to put the ticker back on there. I don't know why my ticker is not still running. I must have clicked something by mistake. Let me see if I can put that on there. These are the areas, black population: Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Maryland, South Carolina, Alabama, again, whether you like it or not, has a large black population. Delaware, North Carolina. These are the ticker below is breaking down to you when you look at it where the majority of black people live. So if you want to go to a place and be around more of people who look like yourself, they are going to be in those areas down below in the ticker that you see ticking. That represents where most black people live. And the other data that I put on there is what they consider the best places in America. So that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Once again, let me put this up here. This is the Rust Belt states that we were talking about where a lot of black people are living. But the question is, should black people leave these Rust Belt states where you've got decaying going on in places like Detroit? And I say this respectfully. I'm not trying to come down on Detroit. Detroit obviously was a popping place for black people, but things have changed. Things change. Things do not always remain the same. Of course, you got New York in the Rust Belt. You got Philadelphia in the Rust Belt. You got Virginia in the Rust Belt. You got Ohio in the Rust Belt. You got Illinois in the Rust Belt. You got all these different areas that represent the Rust Belt: Chicago, Rochester, New York, Syracuse, New York, Buffalo, New York. Let's see. You got Grand Rapids. That's part of the Rust Belt. Fort Wayne, South Chicago, East Chicago. All these areas are representing the West Belt, the Rust Belt. Let me correct that. The Rust Belt. You got Michigan. You got all these different little areas in here that we're going to have to understand the reality of these particular places, these cities. This is pictures of Detroit right now that you're looking at. And this is the thumbnail of a lovely couple that's in Detroit that's trying to refurbish their home right there. They're trying to do some work on it. They're trying to get it up to code and get some value out of it. And I think today was very important, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe that it's very important that we listen. It's very important to listen to what we were talking about today. And I'm going to put this up just like this. I think it was very important to open up your mind and just listen, because through listening, you can learn a lot. And then you can go back and do your own research and say, okay, they were right about this, they were wrong about that, whatever, or we were right about everything from the data itself, because this is about truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the
It's
truth.
about truth. And that's what we're trying to do here. And I really appreciate everybody who's come over today to join us and trying to understand these situations that we're in as black people in this country. Yes, America overall has problems in different states, but the whole damn country has some pushback towards us wherever we move. Remember the movie of Raisin in the Sun? What was Raisin in the Sun about? It was about, really, Raisin in the Sun was about black migration. It was a black man and his family. They came into money from their father, who left them money from all of his hard work. And he wanted to buy a home that was predominantly in a white community, and they didn't want him there. They were doing everything they could to keep him out of moving into a white area. And so black people have been redlined. When black people try to get loans for businesses that already exist, we are turned down by 54%, while white people are only turned down by 24%. That's when you are a black person in business who have a existing business. That's a current statistic. It's facts. So no matter where we are in the world, we're still going to face certain discrimination. But this is the thing I want to tell everybody. Don't let racism and discrimination, even though I'm not saying that you are personally, but don't let it hold you back. It's an obstacle which we got to get over and deal with that other people don't deal with. But don't let it hold you back. Don't let it make you say, oh, Mo, it's me. I can't do this and I can't do that. The first time you start thinking like that, you've already self-defeated yourself without anybody defeating you, because you've allowed the mindset to create this system in which you underestimate and undervalue and marginalize yourself when you live in a society that already tries to do it to you. Don't allow yourself to be marginalized. This is what I have to say as I get back over to my man, Ray Alexander, and let me mute. Ray, as we conclude now, my brother, I want you to whatever you thought about what I said, you can add to that. But any and everything that you've been wanting to say that you probably either did not say, if you have not said it, let's let it rip as we come to conclusion now, brother. And I'm going to mute myself while you talk.
Thank you. What's happening, Charles Blow is concentrating on 9 particular states where we have the opportunity to take political power. That would be Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. If you'll notice, it goes from I-20 up to 85 to I-95. So those are the states where we have the strongest populations. Florida is a nice state. It wouldn't be included because we don't have the population to take state control. But if you like Florida, there's some opportunities there. However, this is a strategic long-term plan that we'll have to go ahead and be straightforward about. And Charles Blow needs us to, he wrote the book. We'll have to put the strategies. For those who want to stay where they are, they're welcome to stay where they are. However, for us who understand, and also everybody won't be there. We'll have people throughout the U.S., but we need enough population in these areas to have control of those states and those national political entities like the U.S. Senate. You're going to still have blacks in Texas. You're going to have blacks in Tennessee, New York. It's just that it won't be the numbers. Already 55% of black people live in the South. So we're trying to increase that to about 65 to 70%, but we only need about 20 to 25% of the blacks elsewhere to move strategically to those 9 states. As I said, if people from Pennsylvania, we only need 200,000 blacks from Pennsylvania to move to Delaware, and we would be 51% of Delaware and control that Senate seat, those Senate seats and that governorships. And that's a very powerful position to be in. And you have I think 2 million blacks just in Philadelphia. I'd have to look that up, but I think that's the population of Philadelphia, about 2 million black people.
Ray, let me say this to you too, brother. What's also, I'm not saying that it can't happen to us anywhere that we live, but we know that after this prior election of Joe Biden, that the Republican Party, and I don't want to get too political here, but I got to be honest and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Right now, what are the states that they're most attacking where black people live? They're attacking black people in those Rust Belt states like Philadelphia. They're going up to Wisconsin. Of course, they have attacked black folks in Georgia, meaning they're doing everything that they can to introduce bills to disenfranchise black people. I think they're targeting black people in particular because of the way the election went. And of course, we know that the DOJ is now taking out a suit against Georgia, saying that their voter laws are now in violation of the Voters' Right Act of 1964 or 65 when LB signed it into law, because Dr. King and those in the civil rights movement made him do it because he said, y'all got to make me do it. How does this plays into what Charles Blow is talking about, as well as yourself? As you see, I have on here, we must return to the South and increase our population density in order to build state and regional power. In the second book, The Devil You Know by Charles Blow, a Black Power Manifesto, New York Times op-ed by Charles Blow. He, like you said, he's talking about if we put our numbers together, we can fight off a lot of the political stuff that's going on, where they're trying to disenfranchise us economically, socially, as well as politically. It's not a coincidence that Georgia turned blue for the first time, that black people in places like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and places like Philadelphia were able to turn the tide because these are places where you have high populations of black people. How do you think that all plays into this, Ray? And I'm going to mute myself and mute.
Thank you on that. It's all important. It's about political power. It's about state political power to develop and protect your economic power. So for those of us, I would say I'm encouraging everyone in the chat and in the audience to go ahead and purchase and read Charles Blow's book. We'll take it out at the library. The issue is that for those of us who are forward thinking, we need to take political power. You have people in states like Iowa. You have these people in small states that have a stronger percentage of national political power than their population. Whereas we make up 41 million people and we don't have the power to do what we need to do because we need to strategically position ourselves. And that's why I advocate what Charles Blow is talking about.
Okay, Ray, this is what I'm going to say, Ray. Rob Allbanks is saying, I get what you're saying, Ray, but too many Clyburns, meaning too many black politicians who sell us out, Clyburns in office. Rob Allbanks, brother Allbanks, this is how you get rid of these type of black politicians that are doing us no good in any politician. If more black people come together who have your mindset, let's say you got an influx of black people who move to the South, who are coming from the West, New York, who have a different mindset. We can get rid of people like Clyburn and put the black politicians or politicians in office that actually have the mindset that we want. So the reason why Clyburn remains in office, because the black people, really, it's the older elders who are voting for him, who continue to put him in office, and they're getting exactly what they want. They're getting him back in office because they're voting. If more of us follow the Charles Blow structure of moving to these places, for example, and increasing the population, we will bring with us our ideologies. And we can say, we no longer, it takes young people, it takes people that have families. We can say we no longer want someone like Clyburn who's not pushing our agenda. And we can get rid of him and put someone in who is pushing the agenda that we want. That's how politics work. Politicians work for us. We don't work for them. But if we don't do anything to get people out of office, even black politicians like the Congressional Black Caucus, which I believe they've done very little lately, if we don't like them, we got to replace them with someone who has our ideology in mind, who has a new black ideology, not one of the past, but one that brings us to the future. Now, I'm going to mute myself and let.
Thank you on that, brother Information Man. As you said, Congressman Clyburn is 80 years old. We got a young brother named Bakari Sellers who is positioning himself. He's a Morehouse man as well. He's positioning himself to probably take that particular seat when Clyburn retires. He's a former South Carolina State Legislature in the State House, and his father was a State House member as well. So we're going to have a new group of millennials taking over with a new outlook. And so I would say that they're going to be able to do better, improve upon what Clyburn and people of his generation were able to do.
Ray, I would say this to you, brother. You're 100%. You're 100% correct that it's going to take generations. Ray, Rob Allbanks is saying, hurry up and get down here so we can change the narrative. Well, you got to change the narrative. You can also change the narrative where you are. Like I said, there's a large number of black people. It takes leadership. It takes people standing up and saying that they want change. And it takes passing that baton and grooming the next generations that are coming before you, like your children. those that are young in your community. And this is a problem that we have in the Black community, Ray. I don't know how you feel about this, but oftentimes we have Black men in particular, when they get in power, they will stay in power until they're 80, 90, 100 years old. And then they've never groomed anybody behind them. And then when they die, for example, or pass away out of the third dimension, now they leave a lot of chaos behind because they've never groomed anybody. Because as Black men, we are hungry to be in power, and once we get power, we hold on to it in our dying hands, and we fail to groom. I'm saying that the new generations have to get away from that formula and begin mentoring. This is why mentorship is important in the community, and start grooming the next generation and stop saying, I'm gonna live forever and be king. No, you're not. That's our problem. And Clyburn is an example of that, because I bet you any kind of money, I'm making a big gamble here, that I bet you any kind of money that Clyburn is not grooming anybody to possibly replace him in South Carolina who can bring a different attitude. I bet you any kind of money he's not. But we can change that, because once again, politicians work for us. We don't work for them. Let me read this. Black political power is rooted in the South. This is the time to double down on sustained efforts to develop political clout in the South. The ultimate goal is to establish a base of power. This is what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is the truth of what it's about. Once again, this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Information is power.
This is exactly what it's about. All right, Ray, I want to thank you for coming on today, brother. It's been fantastic having you on. Do you have any, I don't like saying any last words. Do you have any other great words to leave the public today before as I get ready to conclude the program? And I thank you for being on with me today and bringing so much richness to this stream, another successful stream that we've had together.
Thank you. I do appreciate that you invited me on. I appreciate for providing this great information. You have great graphics. Your heart is in the right place. As Charles Blow is saying, is that what type of life do we want for our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren coming? You talked about the brother that moved to Georgia from California, your fraternity brother. He has made the types of steps to make sure that his children will live in a state where they'll control the political power, that they can end a lot of these things that limited their grandparents' opportunities. So what we're doing is be proactive, be informed, and place yourself. And if some people, I guess there are going to be some people that are going to question everything. If you do nothing, things will remain the same. If you act strategically, you do have the opportunity to improve. That's where we are. If we do nothing, things will not even remain the same. Things will get worse because other groups are establishing their political power. As Charles Blow has said, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, as well as Florida, will be Hispanic majority states. They'll control those governorships, those electoral college votes, and those Senate seats. If we don't do this, and we don't have that balancing power, then we would be victimized, or we would be at the mercy of whoever is in power. And we don't have to do that. So for those who want to stay where they are, then that's fine for them. But I think, honestly, from what I've been reading, the millennials and Gen Z, they're on top of their game. They are making strategic choices. As a matter of fact, they're getting the type of education that they need to move. I read about brothers and sisters going to Morehouse, going to Xavier, going to South Carolina State, North Carolina A&T, moving to where they need Delaware State, going to these historically Black colleges and universities, getting their skills together, being hired by these Fortune 500 companies. Some of them are developing tech. Atlanta has become a tech hub. Birmingham has become a tech hub. Huntsville, Alabama. You have, as I said, this dynamic brother who is in Shreveport, Louisiana, the mayor, who is a West Point graduate as well as Harvard Law School graduate. He is working to revitalize Shreveport, and he's probably the top guy who over time probably could become a governor of Louisiana. So things are looking up. The millennials and Generation Z are doing what they need to do. So for people who didn't do anything, unfortunately, it is what it is. But step aside and let these millennials and Gen Z do their thing and encourage them if you decided not to do anything in your personal life.
What I did, Ray, is I put that back on because I think that goes along with what you were saying. Why black millennials, Gen Z, and retirees should leave the Rust Belt states for a better life in the South. I'm going to put that on there for there. And let me say this to folks that are in the chat room. I want to say that we've had a very good discussion. Some people agree or disagree, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Rob Allbanks has turned the chat room out with his commentary. He's made great statements. He says he needs to go back and take no sellout courses. But Clyburn, okay. But he said a great example. He's talking about the mayor, where he's at. He's making good commentary in there. And then we got sister right here who says she's going to go back and listen to the replay of this. This is highly favored, who says, I'm going to go back and listen to the replay. And then we got Vicky Lewis, who says, yes, awesome show. I'm sharing it to the different platforms. I really appreciate you all doing that. So this is what I'm going to do as a reminder. So let me go up in here. I would like everybody to share this video. Please share the video. You can see that up on the screen. Share the video in all of your social media, all of it, as well as if you are a content creator, share the video in your community tab whenever you can. I would say immediately do it as soon as possible because it helps the channel. And I want you to like the video because that helps the video and the channel to grow through the algorithms of YouTube. And you know how that is. So definitely like this video, give it a like. And if you have not subscribed to this particular channel, The Information Man Show, go right ahead and subscribe. You see that right there. Don't forget to subscribe. And as you subscribe to this channel and you go to my page, you'll see my second channel, The Information Man Speaks Podcast. I'm going live over there damn near every night. I might even go live over there later on tonight. But subscribe to that channel if you can. And then I want to say thank you to Ray Alexander and everybody in the chat room. You're all the best. I'm going to give you a clap, all of you. You're all the best. Thank you. And because I can't do any of this stuff without you all coming over, and I can't do what we just did today, brother Ray Alexander. Once again, I'm giving you another clap and kudos. And I also would like to thank again Rob Allbanks, who made the chat room very spirited. He made us think. He questioned us. He made us explain what we were talking about, and that's okay. And then we got Afro that came in the house. We got Grand Mac Code who came in the house. Earl Owens, Ray Alexander is in there. Tanya is in there. Everybody who's come in, Vicky Lewis, everybody that's come in. Prophet of Thought. We had my man. I got to give him respect. We had just so many people that came in. I'm losing train of thought right now. Peggy Roster. We had so many people who came through, who told us when things weren't going right with the audio so we could fix it. Thank you. We got Brother Keith in there who says, tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
I just want to thank all of you who have come in and have been a part of this experience. We got Black in the house there. Diva. Yvonne Diva came in the house. Oh, RY came in the house saying, good point, Information Man. It's just people need to figure out what city, state suits them best, or we have the amount of people that we need moving to areas we can easily take over first. Yes, that's going along with Charles Blow was talking about. I want to thank everybody that's come in the chat room again. I'm just going over. We got Back to the Basics who came in, make powerful statements, telling everybody to like the video. And we got my man Rob Allbank saying, continue to tell the truth. And we're gonna keep doing that over here. So everybody, again, I'm gonna remind you, make sure you share this video, you share in your community tab. Make sure you subscribe to my second channel, the Information Man Speaks podcast, which is on the page of this channel, because I'm going to be going live over there every night, if not every other night. And what I do is a different format. I only go live for an hour, and I go very specific to the subject matter, and then that's it. And then sometimes I'll bring people up for panel discussion for a short period of time. These are some of the things that I do on the other channel. If you are new to the channel, I thank you for coming over. Free Thinker 59, I think, came over from Bob TV. So thank you, Bob, for telling people about my channel. And he says, I was interested in takes. You too for the show. Hey, I want to thank you for coming over and being a new part of the family as well. And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. I will be on this channel. I've got a brother by the name of Nollywood, and I got brother what's his name? Aquan. He's a very controversial brother. I'm going to be having them on next week on Saturday for a panel discussion. We're going to get into a lot. We're going to just have an all brother talk and talk about a lot of different things. So I might invite other people to come on board to join the conversation. I haven't done a lot of panels in a long time, but I'm definitely looking forward to this particular show next Saturday, 5 p.m. Western time, which would be 7 o'clock Central time and 8 o'clock Eastern time. So come on over for that as well. That's going to be next Saturday. Other than that, I'll just keep cranking out my content on the second channel, the podcast channel. And let me go back over. Let me mute myself and go right back over to Ray.
Yes, thank you on that. Enjoy being a part of this. You are right on point on everything. We just have to be hopeful, positive about the future, proactive about the future, and invest in ourselves and be assertive and take power, take control of our lives. We have the ability to do what we need to do. We've been blessed with that, and we have a great history of overcoming the odds and overcoming the problems. And I believe that we'll continue to do that. So I believe the future looks good for us, and we're doing the right thing. And the millennials and Gen Z are getting on point, and they're making the right type of choices to move forward.
I think I've been talking and I was muted the whole time. Oh God, Ray. Oops on me. Basically, I had great words to say about you, brother Ray. I'm telling you, whenever you want to work together, do any other subject matters, let's do it. You know, you got my number, you got my information. I know you want to build up a channel, and I'm willing to do whatever I can to help you build your channel up as well. So I think our chemistry together and the way we go about looking at subjects like this, it's great chemistry. We're very professional in the way we're handling things. Even when it comes to people who have a different point of view, we still know how to kind of like work within the framework. So thank you again, brother. Thank you again. We're going to do it again very soon, Ray. Take care, brother.
All right, then. You as well.
Thank you. So once again, everybody, I'm going to give them a clap again. Once again, that's Ray Alexander. The brother was on point today. I thank him for coming over. I hope you enjoyed the program. If you enjoyed the program, put a 1 in the chat room. Let me know. We need, this is about engagement. Let me know if you enjoyed the program, if you were engaged in the program, if it was something that made you really take a look and think about what we were talking about. And once again, it's not about us telling you what to do, because you got to do what is best for you. It's just about us laying out the information. You can digest the information and make decisions for your future if you choose to make the move yourself, or if you choose to stay where you are. But it's just important for you to know what's really going on around you. And I thought that was very, very important. Thank you, everybody. Once again, in the corner side, you see the symbol Urban Nerds Worldwide. My brother, my main brother from Philadelphia, another Rust Belt state, where brother George Macomb lives. He has an organization called Urban Nerds Worldwide. It's a nonprofit. He's working with Black youth in the community. They're working in science, education. They're bringing them out of the community to go to museums. They're seeing other things, and they're mentoring. It's him and another brother. They're mentoring. I want you to look up their website. On his website, you just put in the search engine, Urban Nerds Worldwide. His website will come up. You can donate $2, $1, 50 cents, $5, $6 to help support his organization. And guess what? You get a tax, you get a tax write-off for that. You get a tax write-off. And on top of that, he's got a YouTube channel called Urban Nerds Worldwide. Go check it out. Subscribe. That's my brother. I'm supporting the organization, and I'm promoting it right here. And I'm going to be doing a video that's all about Urban Nerds Worldwide for you to watch, where George Macomb and his partners speak for themselves about what they're doing with the kids. So that's my promotions right now, Urban Nerds Worldwide. It's great. And let me shout out to Q Butter, who's another brother who has a program that I respect, the Zion program in New York, where he has an educational institution. He's doing the work. I support what that brother's doing as well. And I will be doing a video about Q Butter as well. So I want to thank you all out there for coming through, whether it's be Back to the Basics, RY, Rob Allbanks. RY, thank you for coming over. Back to the Basics. We got Grand Mom Codes. We got Ray Alexander, who's in the chat room as well. Tanya, all of you who have come over today, and I'm having some problems with my mouse because I want to move a few things up here. Keith, who's come in. Vicky Lewis, who's come in. Afro, Earl Owens. Let me see if I can point somebody else that I haven't said. Tanya, Earl Owens, Free Thinker 59, who says this: the Zoomers are out there in the streets. Don't forget our young people. They have the passion and the sense of urgency we need. Yes, they do. Let me see who else came in here that I might have missed. Bob TV was in the house today, and I told y'all to check out his channel. He's a great brother. We've got Emmanuel Biggs in the house saying great show. Thank you, Emmanuel Biggs. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and subscribe to the second channel, the Information Man Speaks podcast, as well. And everybody, just so you know, we can have some after party discussion, because I'm now on Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse. All you got to do, if you got a Droid phone or an iPhone, is look for Information Man. I think it's show on Clubhouse. Let me double check that. I want to make sure I give y'all the right information. Most definitely. Hang on. So on Clubhouse, I'm under the moniker of, all you got to do is look for Information Man at Information Man, and you will find me on Clubhouse. We can sometimes have private discussions on Clubhouse where I can create a topic, continue the topic, and people, if you subscribe to me on Clubhouse, we can have open conversations, because I know that there's some people who don't want to come up on panels. They don't want to show themselves. I get it. But I'm on Clubhouse at Information Man. You can find me on Clubhouse, And if you find me on Clubhouse, subscribe, because I'm going to start doing some Clubhouse. And I would love to see people who follow me over here on YouTube be a part of those sort of after party discussions or discussions on Clubhouse, where we can have private discussions or we can make it public. It doesn't matter. I got a few people following me. I've only been on this Clubhouse for a little while. Once I realized that I have a Droid phone that you can even download it on Droid. Also on my YouTube page, not my YouTube, my Twitter, they have this thing that's just like Clubhouse on Twitter called Spaces. And I can even do a Spaces on Twitter for those of you that follow me on Twitter. But I want to see how many folks can catch me over here on Clubhouse, and we can have great discussions over there on Clubhouse. I'm looking forward to that, actually. And so with that said, let me get on out of here. My mouse is acting really weird. And here we go. I just want to see who else is at the bottom there. Who's at the top? We got Earl Owens. And let me see, all these good people in here. I love when everybody comes out and shows their support. It definitely is incredible. I'm going to give you all a clap. That's what I'm going to do. All right, everybody, take care. This is the Information Man Show. You guys are all high value in that chat room, and those that are listening, you guys are the best chat room, the best folks that are giving me support, even those that are watching in the bushes. All of you are highly favored and highly blessed. And this, once again, is the Information Man Show. Thank you all again. Thank you, everybody. Peace. I'll be back with more presentation. Yes. Peace. I love you all. You guys are the best. Everybody in that chat room, everybody listening, everybody give me support. I don't care how little people are watching me or how many people are watching me. You give me support, and that's all that matters. Peace to you.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man.
Thank you, everybody.
Be sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
That's right. The Information Man.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth, everybody.
I don't know if I'm okay. I don't see the light of day. Looking up to higher ground, thinking that'll be your sweet escape. These days gotta schedule the romance. They say that love is a slow dance. A short bike ride to the crib using no hands. Oh shit, it feel like I'm floating, but I'm falling with both eyes closed when I let the world spin. Testing the water, she got my nerves tense. Back when I ain't even have a purpose, I was so eager to learn some things. Anxiety bring out the worst in me. Society paint me as enemy. My niggas making it by that remedy. I'm more occasional, don't do it regularly. Backs under my eyes, weighing down heavily. Mama been worried, the devil allegedly deep in the plan. Subconsciously wanted it since I was 10. I thought I was sharp on my scroll and my pen think it did. So mama found shit at them legs. She told me that's not who I am. But But nowadays I put on for the fam, see it when I can. I'm surrounded by my feelings, I'm stuck on a fabric. Well, I bet I perish with 140 acres. She want the horse and the carriage, a porcelain portion of garbage. I talk to the mirror, I know that life's not the fairest. I lost my can, I can't pay off the bills with the blessing. I'm sure I relate to the Reddit page. It's feeling like money is everything. Money is everything. It's everything I need. Till I lay my eyes on you. I don't know what this is, yeah, but it feel like it's real, baby. I don't wanna pretend, no. I just wanna come clear, wanna see you again. I wanna see you again.
Information is power.
Yeah, young nigga used to think this was everything I need, right? Not so fond of change, I'm too caught up in my way of thinking. I get by on me, no, I don't need nobody, yes. I was so naive, somehow I'm still all in on me, yeah, yeah. Way too many times I let the ball drop. Now I'm Steph Curry with the wrist flick, so they cold shoulders never defrost. No deal, but I pre-floss with the money tree in a deep pot. So I'm Cornell Haynes with the rundown. Bitch, I'm all in the field with the cleats off. Everything that I wanted to reach, I had the tunnel vision, couldn't see far. Negative vibes that I feed off got me up and down like a seesaw. All these decoys hit the destroy. Usually keep it poised, but it's ultra violent with the power moves when I deploy. For the real ones, I wanna feel something. Looking for a sign that I might be worth your time. When I look into your eyes, you make me feel alive. Don't know what this is, yeah, but it feel like it's real, baby. I don't wanna pretend, no. I just wanna come clear, wanna see you again. I wanna see you again. I wanna see you again.
Thank you, everybody. It's been great.
Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time when meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove.
Thank you, everybody. Yes.
Baby, you're the remedy. You're my mirror, I could finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it working out.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Peace.
I be holding grudges, can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I get distant. Stay away as long as it takes.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.